he told us that he felt like his guys thought they could do more than they actually could do, but they had opportunity to scrimmage and practice and get up and down and try to shake off the rush as we see the backdoor cut again off. And this is what happens when you go that long of a stretch without being able to play a game against other competition. Practice is completely different, but you Barrett, Zion Williamson, Cam Reddish, all of these guys have really had to settle for everything along the perimeter thus far in this game.
Stevens gets another reverse lay-in, his second going from left to right. He's now got 6 of their 8. Well, there's a first time for everything. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that first time.
Here comes Barrett. If long distance doesn't work, close range gets the job done. Away by Delorier and Reddish. Jones on the break has options. Zion rejected, and Delorier fades and scores. Llewellyn at the point. First spotted by the Princeton staff when he came to their camp as a sophomore. He's got his eyes up and finds a Riguzo here. And Jerome DeRosier into the game for Princeton. Marquise Bolden onto the floor for Duke with Jack White and Alex O'Connell as well. Schwieger's 3 drops through.
But he got Morales into the game early, and now you have the 2 point guards on the floor handling the pressure from Duke, forcing RJ Barrett really to have to guard a point guard, and which is not his strength.
And he just bullied his way through Llewellyn. He's got 5 now.
That's why it's your job.
Kennedy has it stolen. Williamson goes 1-on-2. The lefty lay-in is good, and it's a 2-point game. Pennsylvania, who hit 3 threes last game against Iona, has come in, number 5 in black. From the near wing, it's Miles Stevens, shooting just 18% from 3 coming into the game. He's
one of the veterans who has continued his stellar play from a season ago.
White tries his hand and knocks it down.
You have to pretty much make them play from the perimeter and hope that they don't make shots, because when they get in the paint and
backdoor feed, you had a lot of eyes off the basketball there with Freiberg getting to the rim.
And Bellin, the biggest recruiting win that they've had at Princeton. Now, I'm not sure if that's during his tenure as the head coach at Princeton or in general, but he made a big statement with that one as Cam Reddish makes a huge statement, knocking down the 3 at the top of the key.
They're looking inside for Bolden, but the zone has collapsed against him. O'Connell from deep, got it, and it's 24-18. Duke trailing most of the first half.
They've cleaned up on the defensive end where Princeton was getting all the backdoor cuts that allowed them to open up the offense. Duke has done a great job over the last few possessions cleaning that up. And speaking of great job.
From this seat at halftime, who knows? 27-18.
Hey, Ricky Bobby's dad admitted in the movie that he was drunk when he told him that. That's just a fact.
Needed 3 there to make it a 6-point game once again.
And still in the zone, and now Duke finding a way to get the ball inside the paint of this team. And you know why he's been so successful in just the 2 games that he's played thus far, because he's able to handle that pressure on the outside, just like RJ Barrett is able to be successful when he main reason, just one. But that really shows you where we are. You talk about RJ and Zion as Posh Bobby, and you're talking about Harry Potter. It doesn't get much different than that.
It's true. You got to have a creative mind. 23, Duke out in front, looking to extend its non-conference home winning streak to 146 straight, and it gets excellent defensive possession from Duke.
Now, in all of the categories that you expect from Duke, as Cam Reddish knocks down another big 3, probably wouldn't recognize that they actually lead the country in block shots at 7.5 block shots per game. And you think about Duke and the offensive juggernaut that they, as you analytics people would like to talk about, efficiency not so great in the first half.
We all use numbers. It's just you're not a student of Bill James.
Who?
Speaks for itself. Stevens drives. The senior out of Lawrenceville, New Jersey. It's a team that certainly hopes to contend in the Ivy League this year. Didn't make the postseason field in the Ivy League tournament.
You go into halftime not having made one, you know you want to see that basketball go through the hoop sometime early in the second half.
I just saw this great post-game comment. And certainly Coach K feels he's a great teammate. It's just robbery from Reddish, and Barrett flies down the floor to jam it home. The facial expression there from Mitch Henderson kind of says it all. Williamson, his second 3-point attempt of the game, and just his 3rd made 3 of the year.
See that one go through from beyond the arc.
And then when you've got to sit for 10 days, nothing that number can do but stagnate. Llewellyn, the freshman, in just his third game, shows his scoring prowess there. He's got 7.
Yeah, love Jaden Llewellyn. Considered a 4-star recruit as Cam knocks down another one.
30, the number 2 Blue Devils looking to go to 10-1 before they've got a top 25 showdown Thursday night in New York City against Texas Tech.
He's got off to a great start in this game, had a big first half, 9 points for him, but what Princeton really has been missing, as R.J. Barrett hasn't missed much, if anything, here in this second half. Different than the teams that we've seen over the past few years in which, you know, and I use my hands using the air quotes and say the one-and-done era. We see another one for Marquise Bolden. I believe that could be 3 to 4 for him on the night.
The 8th for the team. And it's O'Connell with the 3-pointer.
And again, they're able to get out and force teams to start their offense much further on the floor because they get out in passing lanes and deny. And you recognize and understand that it's an event for these fans to be able to travel from as far away as they do. As Javin DeLaurier gets in for the easy. Dozens of people outside just going through the Duke Basketball Museum right outside of the Cameron Indoor.
Williamson's got 15. There was a quick backtrack and a whiteout. DeLaurier slams with the right hand.
Transition basketball, pressure defense, and transition basketball. And, of course, a number of highlights when they get to the rim. R.J. Barrett, Zion Williamson, Javin DeLaurier. But defensively is where Coach K is really most concerned about Goldwire. If he can come out and give a similar level of I wasn't going to mention that. But, you know, and Coach Henderson talked to us about it before. Yeah.
And promptly disgraced basketball in the city of Atlanta.
But you did bring your shoes, which was impressive that you came prepared to play.
And threw them in the garbage afterwards. There's the bucket for Goldwire.
Team with so many freshmen that get minutes and so valuable to your team, you have to have those veteran players like Marquise Bolden, guys that have experienced that before, and really are probably a calming influence for Coach K, guys that he knows have been in that environment, he knows he can lean on.
This is something we've seen before this year. Justin Robinson hitting a 3.
You know, every one of their guys has been involved in one of those classes. If you look at Jack White, you know, in last year's class, it goes along.
As it goes in recent years, some of the top players in the ESPN 100, because they've got options.
Here, an opportunity, you know, for his wife who was recovering from her battle with cancer.
Crystal, she's in remission.
At the time.
Concerns about the 10-day layoff between games may have been there over the first 20 minutes, but to take on arguably the best defensive team in college basketball, Texas Tech, number 12 in the country, Thursday night at the Garden, 7 o'clock.
Garden on Thursday night.
Duke's got its 3rd highest scoring total of the season. They dropped 118 in the opener against Kentucky, 113 against Stetson 17 days ago, and today they take care of Princeton 101-50.